Do exams make you stressed and overwhelmed? Look, if you just took a deep breath or kind of nodded your head, I want you to know right off the bat, you are absolutely not alone. College is incredibly demanding, and that sinking feeling in your stomach right before a big test, yeah, that's something almost every student faces. But what if I told you that this stress doesn't actually have to be a mandatory part of your college experience? Welcome to today's Explainer. I am so excited to guide you through this because we're going to completely transform how you approach your academics, specifically tailoring this whole system to be the ultimate stress relief tool for students right here at Houston Community College.
All right, let's just dive right into it. We're looking at an exam preparation strategy that works. Today, we are completely shifting our mindset. We're moving away from the absolute panic of late-night cramming, and we're moving towards studying smarter. As an HCC student, you are already balancing a ton of stuff: classes, work, your personal life, so efficiency is literally the name of the game here. We're going to build a system that doesn't just improve your grades, but actually gives you your time and, let's be honest, your sanity back.
Here's our quick roadmap for the Explainer today. We're going to move through 5 clear phases. First, smart study planning. Then, active study methods. Third, avoiding common study mistakes. Fourth, the best tools for exam preparation. And finally, your exam day strategy.
Okay, jumping into Section 1, Smart Study Planning, Building Your Foundation. You know, planning is the ultimate antidote to overwhelm. When you're staring down a massive textbook, your brain naturally panics. It's like looking at a mountain. But when you map out a plan, that sense of control physically lowers your anxiety levels before you even read a single page. So, Step 1, break those subjects into much smaller tasks. Don't just write down study biology on a sticky note. Write down review Chapter 4 vocabulary. It's so much more actionable. Step 2, create a realistic study schedule by blocking out actual specific times in your calendar. And Step 3, which is kind of my secret weapon here, prioritize the difficult topics first. I know, it is so tempting to study what you already know because it feels good, but tackling the toughest material early on when your energy is highest, it makes the entire rest of the week feel like an absolute breeze. Plan smart, stay organized. Seriously, make this your new academic mantra. Proper planning is your bedrock. Without it, even the absolute best study techniques are going to fall totally flat. Moving right along to Section 2, Active Study Methods, Putting the Plan into Action. So now that we know what we're doing and when we're doing it, we need to talk about exactly how we are studying. And this brings us to a real game changer, active recall. This is the process of actively stimulating your memory during learning by using practice questions, flashcards, or, my personal favorite, teaching concepts out loud to an empty room. Why does this matter so much? Well, passively rereading your notes creates what we call an illusion of competence. Basically, your brain gets tricked into thinking it knows the material just because it looks familiar on the page. Forcing your brain to actually retrieve that information from scratch, that is what builds permanent, much stronger neural pathways. And pairing perfectly with active recall is the Pomodoro technique. This is a time management method that uses short, highly focused study sessions, usually about 25 minutes long, separated by brief breaks. Listen, if you try to sit down and study for 4 hours straight, your focus is going to fall right off a cliff after that first hour. By breaking your time up into these structured little bursts and making sure you actually step away from your desk during those breaks, you keep your brain sharp, you maintain your energy, and you completely prevent that dreaded mid-semester burnout. Active recall. Practice daily. Consistency really is your best friend here. Doing active recall for just 20 minutes a day is dramatically more effective than pulling a 6-hour passive reading marathon the night before a test. You've got to lock that information in daily. All right, Section 3, Avoiding Common Study Mistakes, Dodging the Pitfalls.
It is time to identify the traps that can totally derail all this hard work we're putting in. On one hand, we've got the chaotic mistakes: cramming, multitasking, letting your phone distract you every 2 minutes, passive reading, and skipping your breaks. That is literally a recipe for stress. Now contrast that with calm organization, paced studying, single tasking, creating a focused environment, using that active recall we just talked about, and taking your scheduled rests. Shifting your habits away from the chaos and into the calm is going to completely change your academic life. So the main takeaway here is simple, but I'm going to be firm about it. Stop cramming, avoid distractions. Put the phone in a totally different room if you have to. Close all those extra browser tabs. Give yourself the gift of uninterrupted focus.
Which brings us to Section 4, Best Tools for Exam Preparation, Your Digital Arsenal.
We live in a digital age, and since you're already here watching this explainer on YouTube, you know how powerful digital tools can be.
Here are the essential apps you absolutely should be using to make studying easier. You've got Quizlet, which is fantastic for digital flashcards and nailing that active recall. Notion is incredible for organizing your class notes. Google Calendar, that's your best friend for building that realistic study schedule we talked about earlier. Grammarly is going to catch all those silly little mistakes in your papers. And of course, AI study assistants. Now, the key with AI is you have to use it responsibly. Use it to generate practice questions or maybe summarize really complex topics to enhance your learning. Do not use it to just do the work for you, right?
These are your smart study tools. They're basically designed to do the heavy lifting for you. Let the software handle all the organization so your brain can focus entirely on absorbing the actual material.
And finally, Section 5, Exam Day Strategy, Sticking the Landing.
Okay, you've done the prep, you've tested your knowledge, now let's actually execute. It all starts the night before. You need to sleep properly, because pulling an all-nighter literally destroys your cognitive function. In the morning, fuel your brain with a healthy breakfast. Pre-exam, arrive early so you aren't rushing in a panic, and maybe use some deep breathing to just stay calm. Finally, during the exam itself, read every single question carefully and manage your time. If you get stuck on a question, skip it and come back later. Never forget that your physical preparation directly impacts your mental performance.
As you walk into that exam room, remember to stay confident. You put in the work, you planned, you practiced, and you are ready. Trust your preparation. The core philosophy of this entire explainer really boils down to this one thought. Success in exams doesn't come from studying harder. It comes from studying smarter and staying consistent. It's not about the sheer number of hours you grind away. It is entirely about the quality of those hours.
For all my HCC students out there, if you found this structure helpful, make sure to subscribe to Houston Study Mentor. They provide some absolutely amazing assignment guidance, study tips, and academic success strategies that are specifically tailored to help you thrive.
I want to leave you with one final actionable thought before we wrap up. Which passive study habit will you replace with active recall today? Are you going to stop endlessly rereading that textbook and start making some flashcards? Are you going to put the highlighter down and finally start testing yourself out loud? Pick just one thing, change it today, and watch your exam anxiety start to disappear. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and hey, happy studying.